Well, hey guys. How's it going? Another little episode of Ferris does Whatev. Play more Earthbound today. We'll talk about why in a sec here. But mostly it's just because I need to relax a bit. Have a good time. I think this is the 4th time I've been streaming this so far. Still enjoying this game despite being quite bad at not dying. We're still way back here at this bus station. And I'm not that pleased about that. Couple things here. Hey, Skates. Alright, so I have the pencil eraser, so that's kind of as far back as we've gone here. Hey, Okama. It's not much of a different setup. Just the camera's in a slightly different place. That's about it. But it's nice. It's at least a decent way to set up old games. The reason why I move is because I have a big TV kind of to the left of my main desk. So the camera's normally up here, and I've just rotated it over here. Not much else has moved. No, I have not. I'm still waiting on some packages, though, that I definitely will make videos about, especially my VIC-20. But it's somewhere in the ether. Hey, Metal Voids. I mean, I did rearrange things a tiny bit in my apartment. I upped the storage on some shelves on the other side of my desk, which just kind of cleared up some space. I also got some monitor arms, and so I've got one. I can show you guys. I've got this going on now, where I've put that other screen sideways. There's my screen and stuff. It's kind of neat. So we want to take these fights. We want to get as much experience as we can. But I need to be more careful about not dying. Because a couple times now, I've lost a lot of progress. Hey, Wister Toad. What's up, Ion Codes? I spent basically my whole weekend. And a lot of headspace last week. Working on FPGA stuff. I think I mentioned that I want to build a handheld console. And before I get into like anything at all that's interesting with that, I have to learn how to use memory on FPGAs. So I actually looked into two things. I looked into internal memory on the FPGA, which my FPGA has like 200K bytes of internal memory, so not a lot. Especially not if I want like an actual frame buffer. So not super useful, but useful enough for like ROM or something. So I learned how to use that, and then I spent most of the weekend trying to get DDR3 to work. And it definitely took me most of the weekend. I got it working a couple hours ago. Just doing basic reads and writes. So the reason why it took me so long is I'm not that familiar with in this case I'm using an Altera FPGA, now Intel. And it took me a while, first of all, because I'm not that familiar with Quartus, which is their software. It's something that I really don't enjoy using. The text editor is bad. Oh, it's the photo guy. Text editor is bad. The product management is worse. A lot of things are changing over time right now because Intel bought out FPGA 1 or 2 years ago now. Or they bought out Altera. Didn't buy out FPGA. So it's actually kind of hard to dig through the docs. Now, the process for actually getting stuff set up was relatively easy. I just had to learn a lot of stuff. So I actually watched some videos from like University of Colorado or something that I found on YouTube about just how to use Quartus. So I just did some basic schematics in there, put some gates on a grid, and just to learn some more of those basics, even though that's not really useful for what I'm doing. But just to get me a little more familiar with that piece of software. And you basically have to, like if you want to use memory or in this case a DDR3 controller, the timings are very specific for this kind of memory. So you need to, it's hard to just do logic in an FPGA and make your own controller or something. Plus, I don't really care that much about the lower level signals. The FPGA I have actually has a physical layer that takes care of a lot of the timing and lower level parts of the protocol. And then you can have Quartus generate an IP block that will expose a simpler interface to you than driving that. So it'll take care of refresh, the reads and writes, or the protocols for reads and writes, and it'll give you a basic memory interface. And so just figuring out how to do all that and how to do the right clocking and then get the right clocks to my design and figure out how to use that interface was mostly a lot of digging and just kind of making a bunch of projects in Quartus until I got it right. And finding out like what are the timing parameters of my memory on my particular board and all that stuff. So it was yeah. It took a while. It ended up being relatively straightforward though. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to emulate that interface that the I like explaining this music, by the way. This is pretty funny. And it's anyway, I'm kind of lost right now because I really spent all weekend on this and now my head's kind of fried, but yeah, it ended up being relatively straightforward once I figured out how to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna simulate that or emulate that interface in C++ so I can hook up to that with Verilator. So my next goal is to take the tests that I wrote for testing the DDR3 stuff on the FPGA and get them running in a Verilator simulation. Because then I can start the fun stuff, which is actually building a CPU and a GPU and an audio unit as well. And I'm really looking forward to that part of it, now that I know what my clock rates are, what the memory interfaces are, both for, onboard memory, which I'm going to use for ROM and caches, and also the offboard memory, which I'm going to use for most everything else. So I'm getting pretty excited about it now. But I got to kind of still hobble things together for a while, as I figure out, what the structure of the project is going to be so that it both supports, quick testing and simulation with Verilator locally, but also relatively painless simulation on the hardware via Quartus. And I want to start opening this stuff up soon, but in fact, I pushed a lot of it to GitHub today just for my own reference, but I don't really know. I need to look into the licensing stuff to see what I can make public or not. just in terms of distributing those files. Because when you use Quartus to generate this memory controller, for example, I don't know the license on that generated IP, so. Metavoids, the advantage of an FPGA over Arduino is that I want to do like proper hardware. I'm not trying to build an emulator here. I'm trying to design hardware, and I want to see kind of what that's like doing that in a hardware descriptor language. So FPGA or something a lot simpler with like 74 series chips in a table size bin of breadboards are kind of my options here. WizardTube, I don't plan on porting Rushto Boy to Android specifically. I do plan on, once the libretro port or the libretro front end is a little more mature, I plan on trying to get it build on a lot of platforms. First of all, Windows, Mac, and Linux, but I'll definitely experiment with some other ones. But for the time being, I'm not working on that. The FPGA board that I'm working with, it's the Altera Max 10 FPGA development kit. I bought it because it had HDMI on it and also some ADCs. It's not a great board for what I'm doing, to be honest, but it does have what I need on it. I bought it in 2015, and for a couple months I spent a lot of time with it then, just picking all this stuff up because I'd never done this before, and I'm pretty much doing all this stuff self-taught. There's the link, by the way, to that dev kit. So that's what I'm working with. So I think mostly what's taking a lot of time for me is just my own unfamiliarity with doing hardware design in general, and also, this kind of documentation. Because it was relatively easy to find what I need once I knew what to look for. It's stuff like what interface does this generated memory controller give you, and which clock do I drive that with? Stuff like that. So it's things like that I didn't know. And then how do you get Quartus to generate that IP? Which things do you actually need to provide? Which things can you use as default values? And then what do you do with the files that get out? What do you put in your GitHub? What can you ignore? If you want to change parameters, how do you regenerate that? And I just had to sit down and learn a lot of that stuff. I'm hoping that I can again start streaming some of this pretty soon, because it's going to get kind of interesting. But I didn't want to do that until I figured out this memory interface stuff, because I didn't think I would have the focus to do that on stream and just dig through a bunch of stuff and figure it out. But now that it's mostly figured out, I think I can, start working on that on stream, because yeah, now is the fun stuff that I wanted to do, which is actually doing the logic design. Anyway. Fuzzy Pickles! Wait, hey. But yeah, I mean, the board itself that I'm using, it's not a bad board by any means, and the FPGA itself seems fine. I mean, kind of good, not great kind of thing. It definitely has what I need on it. I just have had to figure out how to use all this. All right. It has lots of IOs, but not as many general purpose as you might expect. Like it's got, again, the reason I bought it is because it had analog inputs and outputs that I could use for, getting composite signals or outputting audio or something. So I thought that would be fun, but also HDMI, which is really nice. It has an HSMC, like it's an HSMC host, but the daughter connectors and daughter boards are a little not as ubiquitous as I would have hoped. And then in terms of like general IOs, there actually aren't that many. There's like 24 or something of them for digital stuff, which is not enough to even drive like a video interface. Which I don't need because of the HDMI, but yeah. So I'm starting with that first and just kind of doing a little system that'll just do stuff over HDMI first, and then I still want to move to the handheld, in which case I'll probably get a different development board and use a different FPGA for that. But I need to get a little bit of a better idea of what the project's logic will look like, how big it's going to be. If I use something like DDR3, do I need to get another dev board with that also on it? Stuff like that. So that's why I'm just doing that. I don't really know what the status of Intel FPGA is. I mean, all the stuff that Altera was doing before is all available still. So I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go hard at this guy because he's gonna hurt me real good. Yeah, I just don't really know the answer to that. I'm surprised my teddy bear survived that. The thing that I find frustrating about working with this stuff is that, like, I really don't enjoy using the Quartus tools. There's a couple cool things in there, like once you've compiled everything, you can look at, like, you have these cool RTL views of your logic. Like, you can basically look at the sort of schematic that it generates. You can look at, it'll give you like transition diagrams for state machines that it infers. So there's some cool stuff in there. And of course, it's very useful in terms of like doing timing simulations under the hood, and it's not bad. It's just that it's not enjoyable for me to use. It's not the way I like to work. But I would really like to understand hardware better, and I don't really know another way to do it than at least at as low a level as I want to do it, other than FPGAs. So I figured I want to bite that bullet anyway. And it might be that, you know, later I want to design a hardware product, and so I'm definitely interested in digital design, but it's a lot more than just writing the Verilog, which is kind of the stuff that's in my head right now. So just kind of have to bite the bullet and learn a lot of this stuff. Oh yeah, SK? That's cool though. I mean, if it works, it's cool, but yeah. I wouldn't worry too much yet. Yeah, even when I bought that board, like, it wasn't even, I wasn't even really thinking that much about Xilinx versus Altera. I just, I found a dev board that was like an official board from either manufacturer that had HDMI and some ADCs and some DACs on it, and so that was really all it was. And I've been relatively happy with it, I think. I don't really have anything to compare it to, though. Oh, that'd be awesome, Pyro. I would actually love to have that kind of stuff. But, at some point, I definitely want to build something with that kind of hardware. So I would say it's the right level, but, right now I'm enjoying more writing Verilog instead of that. In fact, if I did that, I would probably do a bunch of tests and stuff in Verilog, figure out what I wanted to do, and then I would get a gate level translation of that, and then implement that gate level circuit with the 74 series logic. I think that's in theory what I would do. I don't have that much experience with that stuff, so I don't know if that would be a good way to approach it, but that's probably what I would do. Yeah, that codebug actually mentions those 74 series logic specifically. He talks about going from transistors to gates, and then at that point, like, I think like gate level is as low as I would ever want to go. It's still basically RTL at that point. But that's like really low, and you're not going to do something that's high performance with that. You're just going to do something that's cool. Oh, really, Ion Codes? I played it a ton as a kid, but I don't remember it. So it's been really fun to play again now. Oh no, my teddy bear's gone. Man, that would totally kill me if I didn't push A fast enough. Oh, that's cool, Pyro. I think a project like that would be so much fun. It's just, like, what I specifically want to make is a system. Like, I want to make a GPU. It's really what I want to make. The thing is, like, making a GPU in isolation doesn't really make any sense. So I'll also be making a CPU, and I also want to make an audio unit. I think that'll be fun. But then you need a CPU, and I thought about designing my own and just... Because you could make a pretty minimal design and make an assembler pretty easily. So I thought about that, but I decided if I'm gonna... I'd probably design something that was really RISC-like anyway. So I might as well learn about RISC-V and do that. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Thanks for sharing, Pyro. That sounds really cool. So my plan is, I'm gonna start on the CPU and stuff now that I have memory working, and I'm gonna bootstrap. I'm going for RISC-V RV32E. So that's their embedded profile. So that way I can have like a full compiler and I can write code for that CPU in C, because I don't like. I have a good enough understanding of that compiler stuff that I just know it's a lot of work. So it's not really gonna. I'm not gonna get much out of doing that work. So using an off-the-shelf CPU design is gonna really help me there. So with that, I want to, like, the first GPU that I'm gonna make is just something that's gonna pull bytes out of a frame buffer and push it onto the HDMI. And that way I can just start with software rendering by memory mapping that memory. In fact, I'll just use the same DDR memory that I'm using for the CPU, and it'll be at a certain location. So when that works, then I can start stuff like, okay, I'll just write a software rasterizer. And then once that works, I can start moving bits of that into hardware. And sort of do that iteratively. And I think that'll be really enjoyable. Can I not use my bike here? I can. There's a lot of trees here. So here's the issue. I have a cold right now. And no cold remedy. Yeah, I think it'll be a cool project. There's certain low-level things that I would just love to have designed at least once. Like here's a bus that two things need to actually use to get at memory, and one of them takes priority over the other, and just how does that work? And it's probably trivial, but I want to actually write it. Oh, whoops. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so healing actually gets me over that. That's actually awesome. Yeah, I saw that too. Also on Twitter, that Ida7 is free. I haven't checked it out yet because I'm not working on anything reverse engineering, but I totally, when I was doing a little bit of switch hacking, that was actually one of the things that kept me from using IDA on that project, is because, of course, I don't have a license. And so you could get ARM32 support with it, but not ARM64. So I ended up downloading Radar too, but I didn't really know how to use that either. And I couldn't get its something in there I couldn't get to work. I can't remember what it was though. I think it was like the call graph that I couldn't get it to actually work on those binaries. So I ended up just searching through functions by hand, and it was actually that caused me to find the job gadget that we needed, because it ended up using some weird instruction that got a register value from like the process block or something. I don't remember the details. But it was like a really indirect way to get control of this register that I just happened to find because I was looking at all the functions by hand. It was pretty funny. Oh, I should totally check that out too, Kloash. That's cool, Pyro. I think if I ever wanted to do something physical like that at that low level, I think like making all the basic gate types out of transistors, like once or twice, could be fun. But then after that, it's like doing that at scale is not really that fun. So then moving up to the 74 series chips just is such a natural progression from that. You kind of understand how the transistors work, and then you understand how the gates would fit together in a way that's a lot less work to wire together. Okay. I missed twice, and that's annoying. Like, I don't think I'd enjoy making like a CPU out of transistors, but I probably would really enjoy making one out of 74 series chips. Man, I just keep missing. It's really annoying. Yeah, I saw the Mega Processor. It's so cool. I also have an idea that I want to make. Another reason why I wanted to work on DDR3 is I'm considering doing kind of like a shader language just for more general DSP, and you know, a CPU to do that on an FPGA as well. I think that would be really fun to make that kind of DSP core. Oh, nice, SK this. Ah! I did not want to fight all those guys at once. Keep missing. Yeah, it is a weird game, Moose. Also, hi. Yeah, I'm totally gonna go back to town and call my dad. Really? I mean, it's not that I want to avoid getting the experience. I just want to go back to town so I know that I can save. Well. Might as well. That was a good hit. That has not worked once. I don't even know what that does. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to streaming more of that handheld project once, now that a lot of stuff is set up. There's, my capture card in particular, it has HDMI input, and the advantage there is that I've been running, so in the same way that I use a webcam on the Virtual Boy as a monitor, like to monitor the output of the Virtual Boy when I'm working on that stuff, I can just monitor the output of the FPGA via OBS, so I can also stream that. That'll be cool. So that healing is relatively cheap in terms of PP, so I don't think I'll have to buy any more cold remedies. But I'll want to buy some more food. Fight this guy again. So probably have to go back and forth a couple times just to make sure that I get more experience and don't die again, because I'm getting pretty sick of dying in this game. fighting these guys because I know I can. Now I get as much experience as possible. By the way, there was a Super Nintendo demo released this weekend at DemoBit by Revenant and some other guys. It was pretty cool. Pretty 90s style Amiga presentation, I thought. And some nice effects. Oh, they definitely did. That's what reminded me of Memoos. Look pretty cool. Money in the bank. Yeah, it's like chill Wario. I really like 1-2 Switch was okay, but I really wanted another WarioWare for the Switch. I actually know what I wanted him to take. Maybe nothing. I honestly wouldn't recommend 1-2 Switch. There's so many more fun games than that on the Switch. I haven't planned on when I'll stream Code in Game. I figured it'll be one of those kind of whenever I feel like it kind of things. But I am talking to a couple other guys. If we can find a way to make like a head-to-head format work, because I've watched this. Some people do this with Zelda streams. In particular, Beta Quest Bingo is so much fun. Yeah, I agree. Move away. If 1-2 Switch were a lot cheaper, then I would recommend it, but it's not. My goods. Okay, so I can buy. I'll buy a hamburger, and then I'll go buy a teddy bear. Yeah, so Beta Quest Bingo is something that... So Beta Quest is a version of Ocarina of Time where they randomize all the warp points. So when you go in a door, it goes somewhere completely different. And what they use as a seed for the RNG there is the name of the file. So you get like 3 people that have Beta Quest, and then they all choose the same file name. So it's like a completely randomized layout, but it's consistent. So like they have to kind of learn their way through the game as they go. And the idea is you have like a 5x5 grid of just things you can collect in the game. And the players, they're on Skype or something, but they're all streaming individually. So they can't see what each other is doing. But every so often they'll, say stuff to each other to make it, give each other crap and stuff. And the only thing that they can really see that the other people do is when one person collects something on the grid, that cell is taken up and no one else can collect that. And so there's like strategies where you'll see people are getting like 3 in a row, and then someone else nabs the 4th one because they happen to know where that is, because as they've been exploring the game, they went by that, but they didn't go get it because it wasn't like it didn't fit what they were trying to collect. So there's really fun. I loved watching that, and it lasts like 5 hours, but it's awesome. See ya, Skittes. So I'm hoping that we can sort of adapt something like that to Code in Game, where we're kind of making it competitive. It's me and a couple guys are talking about doing this, and then I would really like to do that. And if we can make that work, I'll totally announce that and make a big deal out of it, because I just think that would be really fun. But at the moment, I don't know when I'm going to do that. I haven't really planned it as part of the schedule. I've just decided that I'll probably start doing that. How do you like Breath of the Wild, by the way, Mad Moose? Because I'm actually still playing that game. I got it on launch day, and I'm still enjoying just collecting stuff. I also just started playing Axiom Verge, which I kind of like and dislike right now. Yeah, I guess you're probably still on the plateau. I just thought that was such a fun game. Odyssey was also just awesome. Yeah, Axiom Verge, if you like that kind of platformer, yeah, I haven't tried Celeste yet. So a couple people at my office also started talking about that, and so I checked it out a little more, and Celeste looks awesome. So I definitely want to check that out at some point. But yeah, Axiom Verge, like, the controls feel really good. The game looks great. The vibe and the story seem pretty cool. And it's also pretty light, so like you can kind of just get in the game, which I also like. It's I don't think it's my kind of game though. Like, I tend to prefer RPGs, things where I can kind of take my time a little bit more with. Of course, I like, adventure games. Like, I loved Odyssey. Adventure platformers, I guess you would call that, maybe just platformer. Really like Breath of the Wild. Axiom Verge, because it's a bit harder, in a way that to me isn't as fun, because I like to play those kind of games a little more casually. Like, just kind of pick it up and do a little bit and then put it down. So I don't know if it's a great fit for that, but it feels super good and it's really fun. But I definitely need to try Celeste, because that looks great. Oh wow. Hyperlight Drifter was really fun. I really enjoyed that game. I definitely didn't 100% it, but it was fun. Axiom Verge is, of course, I would definitely say it's up there in difficulty with Hyperlight Drifter. But it's a lot smoother. Hyperlight Drifter, it kind of turned me off how slow that game was. It just didn't have very good performance. Axiom Verge does not have that problem. Is Lego Batman 2 actually good? Hadn't considered that. I'm really hoping, by the way, that I can find a place to save in Happy Happy Village or whatever it was, because I really did not enjoy dying there. Server, how's it going? So I guess things are going well. That's awesome. Why do you say that, server? Oh, yeah. That's kind of funny. I tried it a tiny bit. I didn't have any timeout issues. I mean, I know why they compile and debug. It's because I think in release it would just take way too long to have to do any kind of iteration. But yeah, I thought I would do some Rust, and I thought I would do some F# again. Been a while since I wrote F#. I like that he keeps trying to get the teddy bear cold. That's helpful. We could do competitive advent of code. That would totally work. Yeah, I also didn't look at it this year. In fact, I think the only time I did it was 2015. I did about half of it, and then I went home to my family for vacation, and then just stopped. But I enjoyed it before that. I was in the right time zone, too. I was in the US at the time, so, like, I would get the prompt around 9 p.m. and then do it right away. So my goal every day was to try and be on the first 100 people that would do it. And I usually averaged around 20th to 50th, which I think is pretty fair for Rust. Almost all the guys that were first and second were Haskell or Python, and I'm not that surprised about that, because a lot of the problems themselves were kind of based around some classical computer science problem. And if you had the right libraries and the right knowledge of the libraries, which I was definitely at a disadvantage of at the time with Rust, you would naturally get done faster. So wasn't too surprised about that. But that was really fun. Whoops, that was the wrong one. There we go. Yeah, the Cinecore thing looks cool too. Haven't tried that, but it did look nice. Oh, what's that server? Some shield that was. I'll make sure you can post links, server. 1 second. Oh yeah, you can, server. You already can. Meteornium sounds cool. Yeah, I probably don't need this hamburger. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, nice. What does this travel charm do? Oh, I can equip it. Aha. Already maxed out? Alright. Only did that because I know I'm going to eat a butterfly. The nice thing about this game is it does seem to scale pretty well when you actually level up. You just have to grind a little bit explicitly. I still think it's great that the status ailment is a cold. Okay, I'm my own life. I'm actually doing pretty good. Oh, that sucks, actually. Not stop crying. It's actually really funny. Okay, I might actually be in trouble here. Without any PP. I need to start running away more in this game just because of that. Hopefully I find a butterfly, but I'm gonna start heading back into town because without any Psy, I'm not in too good shape. And I would much rather play it safe than to die. Look at this. 2 trees and a sprout there. You kidding me? What am I supposed to do about that? Well, since that way's kind of bust, I might as well just keep going. I don't remember how far the village is. A hard hat. Oh, that helps. Nice. That should help a lot, actually. That was like double the defense. So now I really don't want to die. Okay. Just not having... Oh, butterfly. That's going to solve all my problems. Great. That's awesome. So now... Great. That's all I needed. Now I'm good. As long as I don't die, it's still my best option to just keep fighting everything. Because getting experience and leveling up and getting good equipment are kind of the things that are gonna... the only things that are gonna make this easier. So I don't know my way through this area though. Love that snare. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, so just take about the same amount of hits to kill him. But him hitting me should... Oh. Okay, well, that's a critical hit, so it doesn't really count, but... Defense is down by 1, but that's still like 10 more than what I had before. Welcome back, Iron Coats. What kind of ice cream did you get? I've been craving some cookie dough myself. In fact, I might go get some after this. I'm pretty into that idea. Nice, so now I'm starting to just plow through sprouts. That's improvement. That sounds like an ailment, like a... Sounds like something you should go to the doctor for. But I'm sure it's delicious. I don't need my Mr. Baseball cap. Oh, nice. I love chocolate chips. I would even eat chocolate chips with chocolate chips in them. So I'm pretty sure this leads to Happy Place, whatever. But I kind of want to go to this house. Doesn't look like I can, though. I guess that's the idea, that I'm supposed to go here. Come here, snack. Stay there, snack. Where other snack? Here, yeah, another snack. This girl asked me for money. Have fun. Just want to go in this house. It's just a JRPG. This is kind of like my first playthrough. I think I mentioned I played it a lot when I was younger, but I don't remember it really, other than that I liked it. So I don't know a lot about the story, so no spoilers. So I don't know a lot that we haven't already seen. I'm definitely enjoying it. Alright, so I really want to try and find a phone in this village so I can call my dad, which is how I save. So there's a little hospital here. That's nice. Very good to know. Oof, that hurts metal voids. Okay, so there is actually a phone here. That's good. Call my mom too. I haven't called my mom in a while. Just keep on checking. It's actually funny because my mom used to watch soap operas when I was a kid all the time. Guiding Light she used to watch. Sweet. What if I can buy a bear? Even though it's a drugstore. Yeah. Not too much is interesting here. Okay, I can buy power-up stuff. I'm gonna do that. That was a bat, right? Yeah, it was a bat. Okay, so I can sell him my slingshot. copper bracelet I'll buy. Wait a minute, what? What the heck? Oh, I must have just not done the menu right. Okay, there we go. Don't know how that didn't work, but alright. We got what we wanted in the end. Just gonna save again. I don't know if I need to do this. It's actually funny that she says that because that's totally what's going to happen if I go and talk to him. He likes to paint attack. I love how harmless these guys are. It's awesome. Yeah, so I have talked to the cultist leader before last time we played this. Oh, that's where this is. Okay, that was easy. Spiteful Crow. I like his sunglasses. Just like how he pecks at your eyes. That's gruesome. No, I don't need the cookie. That's what I thought. I gotta do that. I like the song. So is this something I have to equip? Actually, I think I can go in here and use. Okay. I'll just hang on to it. Yeah, on Code. So Mortar and I, we're colleagues. And he's actually one of the people I'm talking about doing that head-to-head thing with. So I auto-host him as well, actually. Of course he did. Oh, Pokey. Yeah, motor is super cool. Yeah, life lesson here, guys. The only thing insane cultists actually do to you is try to paint you. And if you beat them up with a bat, they turn normal, so. There you go. Who knew? I just like to save a lot in this game, because I have died a lot. Welcome back, server. Kind of curious what's over here, actually. Moles. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of bears in here. That's where I died last time. I really like the music in this game. It really helps sell the this game doesn't take itself too seriously vibe. Yeah, this is Mother 2. I don't know where it's called Mother 2 or under which conditions. I don't really know that much about the rest of the series. I know I like this one. But I'm genuinely a fan of Super Nintendo RPGs. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. I don't remember the way through here. That's such a good dialogue. This part lags so bad. Aha. It's kind of funny how sometimes those regions just don't really make much sense. It's all the areas in the world where Z means to. I think at least Japanese and German are the only languages I know of that can start words with to. Oh, lag here is so bad. I like that guy screams because he doesn't know what else to do. Me too, dude. Alright, here we go. Oh! Big battle time now. I like how he also has a paintbrush. Didn't hit anyone. Okay, so my Psy Rockin' did do more than just hitting him. Whew. That baseline. Nice. That's easy. And Ion Codes with the snack game over here. Thing is, there's a lot of items here, like the pencil eraser. Like, I might need that at some point. I do know the Meteorium was easy to get, so I think I'm gonna drop that. That's actually funny, Ion Codes. This actually looks like the one that weird guy outside of one it had was in front of. Or that he found in the basement or whatever. Zug? Is that train? Zug? I meant the like TS in English, not necessarily TZ, the letters. Pokey's such a piece of crap in this game. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, now I need to go save again. Oh, wow. What sound would that even make? I'm sorry for everyone wearing headphones. And also for my pop filter who is now drenched. Come on, Snail Express. Give him my bike. I'll give him the pencil eraser. That'll be all. Oh, nice. It's like I got some guts. Nice. Got Paula and a teddy bear. That's a good deal. That's kind of funny how it goes. I knew it was like a different German, but I don't really know anything about it. It's Picture Guy again. And now I'm finding a bird. Also, so Paula has her own inventory. That's actually awesome. That's why we keep being able to take so much stuff. That's great. But I think I'm gonna go save, and then I might head out. Not that I'm not having a good time. I'm just think I'm done for today. I'm just very happy to. Oh, hey, it's not blue anymore. Yeah, I had to see what that guy said. He was still talking about blue. But yeah, I think I'm gonna save and head out. maybe get some ice cream. And watch some Making a Murderer, because I've heard that's super good. And if I don't watch something like that just takes my mind off of this FPGA stuff, I will not sleep tonight. So. Alright, we're saved. Anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. I'm gonna leave. See you later. This is not an emulator, by the way, on codes. This is real hardware. This is a Japanese Super Nintendo. Just saying. But yeah, see you guys later.